love being an actor, and it fulfills me in so many ways. So I thought, well, I'll go back to TV, or I'll just do independent movies. I'll work. I'll get a job.
But then in December of 1987, Pierce and Cassandra were hit with terrible news.
Cassie got sick, which was shocking, and was sick for 4 years with ovarian cancer. And that was the last thing either of us expected.
Cassie turned to me and said, I'm sick, I have cancer. And I can remember just starting to get tears in my eyes.
That puts everything into perspective when your partner is sick, especially with such an ugly disease, and such a terrifying disease. Just those 6 letters just puts the greatest clarity in your life.
Pierce got stronger and stronger. I mean, you could see it.
He was torn, because he obviously wanted to be with her as much as he could, but at the same time, he had to provide for his family.
He took on additional responsibility, not only in their relationship, but in relationship to the children. He had to become, in some respects, the father that he'd never had. He had to replace Cassie's strength with strength of his own. And it was a defining experience in his life, as inevitably it would be.
The world watched as Cassandra's condition improved and then worsened. On December 22nd, 1991, at age 50, Cassandra started to fade.
We never talked about dying, because it was just there, waiting off stage, so to speak. But when you're alive and you're living and you're in the moment, that's what's important. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen. We'll give it our best try to survive.
He was there right to the last second, and I think a testament to his strength, his character, and his spirituality, that for him to be with her when she died, I think is probably the greatest act we can do for each other as people.
He was at the hospital laying with her and holding her hand, and she knew. They sent for the children, and the children were coming. They knew that her time was limited. They knew this was probably going to be her last hour. And she just encouraged him to continue with your career.
Brosnan's struggle earned him a new respect from the public, although the press romanticized Cassandra's death, claiming that Pierce made a vow never to marry again.
I never said that. My late wife, Cassie, would have loved me. She wanted me to find someone else. We never really talked about finding other people.
As a result of his experience, Pierce became a cancer activist. Lily Tartikoff is co-founder of the National Women's Cancer Research Alliance.
Pierce really helped us get this cause on the map. I mean, he helped us put it on the map, breast and ovarian cancer, and he said no, there was nothing he said no to.
I've been involved in cancer charities and for the obvious reasons.
With the support of friends, a memorial was established for Cassandra.
I thought a whale tail would be wonderful on a bench and telescopes so the kids could look at the migration of whales. And because my late wife grew up in Australia and the whole connection to the ocean there and her stories, it became this lovely space up there in Malibu Bluffs.
When we return, Pierce Brosnan tries to recover from personal loss and professional setbacks.
And you kind of go slowly, you stand up and you fall down.
And later, Pierce finds a new love.
It's very civilized.
We're very happy.
Fits well. What can I say?
In the late 1980s, just on the verge of superstardom, Pierce Brosnan lost the coveted role of James Bond, and then tragically lost his wife Cassandra to cancer. In 1992, Brosnan began the difficult task of rebuilding his life.
And you kind of go slowly, you stand up and you fall down. And what grounds you more than anything else is your children.
He came out with humor and confidence and strong and came out the other side, and he didn't rush it.
Went through probably one of the most impactful experiences of his life. Be the same, but I don't think he would trade it for anything, for the years of having Cassie.
Once again, Pierce turned inward, finding expression in his lifelong passion for art.
Great painter. He could put this business away and just paint for the rest of his life.
A year after Cassie died, Pierce returned to acting, but there was something different about him.
He's gone through a lot, and it's all reflected in a kind of increasing sort of depth intellectually and emotionally and psychologically. I know he's changed. I can see it on his face. I can see it in his work.
Pierce began looking for roles that would help build his career, but in Hollywood terms, he just wasn't considered box office.
He worked in a lot of projects, some of which he maybe wouldn't have done under other circumstances, but he wanted to work because work kept his mind busy.
I said, look, forget about being the leading man, forget about all of that. I'm just an actor. Just get me good character work. Just get me supporting work. I don't care, I want to work.
Then in 1992, Pierce starred in the film Lawnmower Man, which became an unexpected hit. Suddenly, Pierce Brosnan was hot again.
It gave him a good move up, but ultimately we would have had to get something else to do what he wanted to do.
That something else was a comedy with Robin Williams called Mrs. Doubtfire.
And that was the perfect thing. I said, I'm happy. If I just keep on doing this, I'll be a happy man.
What a sweet Irish boy. I never knew that before. He was so attractive, and this is before his Bond days. Now he's 007, I would say 009. He's huge.
For me, it's always been just trying to get better, trying to be good at what you do.
Pierce's career and his personal life were in full recovery. In 1994, 40-year-old Pierce met journalist Keely Shea Smith.
Keely's a great lady. What I like about Keely, she has a sense of who she is. She doesn't come in as Pierce Brosnan's girlfriend. She comes in as Keely Shea Smith. She's got her own program. She's writing books. She does talk shows. And I think that makes the relationship what it is, because they complement each other.
Keely proved a good match for Pierce, even dealing with the delicate issue of Cassandra's memory.
She has done it in the most gracious way, most sensitive way. She's always allowed the space of Cassie to be there and celebrated those moments when we talk about Cassie.
Also in 1994, Timothy Dalton, who replaced Roger Moore as James Bond, announced that he was leaving the role. Pierce got the fateful call during a photo shoot, and in the excitement, he sat on his sunglasses.
The phone went one day there in 94, July 1st, 94. And the agent said, all right, we're on, Bond. And it just felt right. As soon as I put the phone down, Keely was standing in the kitchen, and my assistant, Laura. We're not allowed to say anything to anybody. And that was it. It was GoldenEye.
Pierce began work on the 17th Bond film, GoldenEye, in late 1994. But now, the pressure was on.
There was fear and there was trepidation, and I thought, don't blow it. And I had a great director, Martin Campbell. Martin Campbell gave me the strength to be there.
Director?
Actually, he put the fear of God in me. He said, you better be good in this. You better be good. I said, I am going to be good, man. Will you chill out? Go, oh, yeah. So it was a high level of intensity. You know, there was a lot at stake.
Released in 1995, GoldenEye became the highest-grossing James Bond film ever made. Pierce was vindicated.
The events in his life between that first opportunity and the second opportunity that he was able to take advantage of had really carved character into him.
And I think there's a maturity to me now as a man, more of a maturity than there was back then. There's more courage. There's more life experience as a human being. There are certain things that I have lost which can never be gotten back.
When we return, Pierce Brosnan surprises everyone by popping the question.
I proposed. I said, I think it's time, and would you like to be my wife?